I went there for a degree in accounting, and I went to the online division. And so I talked to them and I asked a bunch of questions about, I talked to different people and asked questions about what the degree would entail and, or not what it entail, but what was like the employability of the degree afterwards. And so they said that, you go through the classes and we get you an internship and then everything will be fine from there, except you have to complete 80% of the coursework. And so I did complete 80% of the coursework and got ready to get the internship. And they had like a career services department, and you would email them because this is all done online, right? So you email them, and the woman was who was working there would respond like, once every 3 or 4 days. Okay. And so finally, it came that she set up a meeting with me to go face to face. And because she took such a long time to respond to these emails, what I did was looked at a couple of local places around here that might have interviews. And so one of them was called Laidless Prince. And so I went there, I put on a jacket and a tie and a hat. And I went there to meet them to see, okay, could I get an internship? Because I was going to try and schedule it myself or set up an internship myself. And then afterwards, just register it with the what do you call it, with the career services place, and that would save a little bit of time because it took them so long to respond each time. And I went into the place there, and it's in this building, like, and it looked like the office had been furnished with like Salvation Army stuff, and it's like a couple of people there sitting with some laptops, wearing jeans and shirts, and they're like working off of these Salvation Army tables. I'm like, okay, so I'm not interested in this. This is not what I thought it was. And so in the meantime, I got a call back from this woman to go in and meet her at the office. I think her name was Tammy something or the other. And so I went there and we started talking, and she's like, and I said, "Oh, well, I found like a company, and I might be able to do an interview with them." She's like, "Oh, Layla's Prince, that's a great company." And it's like I knew at that exact moment that she didn't know anything about these companies, and I also see that she was so, if I had said anything else, if I had made up a company, I said, "Oh, I found an interview over at the Goody Google Incorporated." "Oh, that's a great company. You can try for an internship there." So that was one thing. Okay, she didn't know what she was talking about. She was slow to answer the emails. And then the other is I went to a temporary agency that thought maybe I could get some work experience working for a temporary agency. And I went to a temp agency here in Oakland County somewhere. I can't remember where it was. It's been a minute ago. And so they say, okay, sit down here and fill out this application and give us a CV. And they gave me a clipboard, but somebody wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. And they accidentally had a whole bunch of resumes attached to the clipboard. So I sat there and I read through the resumes of these applicants that they had. And these guys were like all CPAs and they were trying to get like temporary work. So, I mean, this is telling me that it's way more people than what it is jobs available. And so when talked to the company, or talked to Baker College, excuse me, then it was one story. But when I went out in the field to talk to people, oh, it's a different story. And then the third example is I was working as a trucker during this whole time, right? Because that's what I've been doing for many years. I would go to like our different receiving points and they would have an accountant there and I would go talk to an accountant there and they're like, oh, yeah, salary for an accountant, that's probably like about $12 an hour these days. And it's like, okay. So between those three things, after I got to the 80% mark of finishing my coursework and all of like that, after that experience with the career services center, I just decided to not go back because that was the point at which I knew it was a scam.